Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. This is Sassy Love Tarot. In today's reading, we're going to be asking Spirit all about your upcoming 7 days. So this is going to be a timeless prediction for you. Whenever you click on this reading, then it is meant for you at that specific moment of time. The way this reading is going to work is that I am going to first start off with some oracle cards to do a general energy check in terms of your upcoming 7 days, and then get into the specifics with tarot to see what are the blessings that are coming up for you, what are the challenges that are coming up for you, and last but not least, what are Spirit's guidance and or advice for you regarding the events specific to the next 7 days. So if that sounds good to you, let's get through to each of your options. Option number 1 here corresponds to the balance card along with this bottle of blue apatite. Option number 2 here corresponds to the change card along with this bottle of tiger's eye. Option number 3 here corresponds to the purpose card along with this bottle of amethyst. Option number 4 here corresponds to the acceptance card along with this bottle of citrine. So as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to, and once you have chosen your pile or piles, you can scroll down to the description box to find the corresponding timestamps to be fast forwarded to your respective readings. And as always, I do keep my shuffling process on camera, so if you're interested in sharing your energy with me during the shuffling process, you can find the corresponding timestamps down below as well. That being said, let's get right into your readings. Hey loves, if you have chosen the balance card along with this bottle of blue apatite, then this is going to be the shuffling process for you. Welcome. Well, to start off, let's get some oracle cards going and see what energy is going to be present for you in the next 7 days. So Spirit, for my dear group number 1, what energy is going to be present for my dear group number 1 in the upcoming 7 days, please, Spirit? Oh. All right. Let's see. Spirit, what energy is going to be present for my dear group number 1 in the upcoming 7 days, please, Spirit? What energy? Oops. There we go. We got these two. Let's see if they're on frame. And I'm gonna grab a couple of tea leaves. Let's see, Spirit. What energy is going to... Oops. There we go. Maybe grab another couple of tea leaves. Let's see. All right, so there we go. And now let's get right into your tarot cards. So Spirit, for my dear group number 1, what blessings are coming in the next 7 days, please, Spirit? What blessings are coming in the upcoming 7 days for the dear group? 1, all right. How about challenges? What challenges are going to be present for my dear group number 1? Okay. And clarifying that, we have 2 cards. Okay. How about a word of advice? What advice do you have for my dear group number 1? Oops. Let's see. That's a bunch. I'm just gonna take this one and let me shuffle again for another. Let's see. Spirit, what else do you have? Yeah. All right. There we go. So we've got all the cards shuffled and laid out for you, my dear group number 1. Thank you so much for staying here and for sharing your energy with me. And now that all your cards are shuffled and laid out, let's get right into your reading. Hi, group number 1. If you have chosen the balance card along with this bottle of blue apatite, then this is going to be the reading for you. Welcome. Well, first off, let's talk about the card that you guys were attracted to at the very beginning. Balance, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Interesting. What really stands out here is the word judgment. So for you, my dear group number 1, if you're a person who's very prone to judging themselves, then I feel like this is Spirit's message for you for the next 7 days, that you need to really cut yourself some slack. You really need to give yourself a little bit more time to just lay back and be relaxed. And instead of judging yourself, try to hold yourself in a more balanced view. Try to see both the good side and the bad side. Just like you do so with everybody else, I feel like Spirit is saying that sometimes you might see yourself with just a little bit more harshly than you do others in general. And in the next 7 days, that is going to be a challenge for you. And to maintain balance, you would need to take everything into consideration, and that's what I'm hearing to start off. So now let's get right into your oracles and see what exactly is going on. So first off, we have number 22, which reduces to 4. Capricorn, I use. Okay, so we've got some Capricorn energy to start off. It is possible that Capricorn season would be significant. It is coming up towards the end of the year. If you're watching this when the video is first uploaded, Capricorn season is actually pretty much around the corner, not that far away. And this is giving me major like career advancement sort of vibes, but let's see what else we have here. So we've got service. This is card number 14. Might be a significant number for some of you. And we've got card number 20. You are what you think. Interesting. So exactly like I said, the word judgment was really standing out when I was reading the keywords off of this card that you guys were attracted to in the very beginning. I feel like in the next 7 days, what you think and how you think about yourself is really gonna matter. And it's going to essentially impact the way that you see yourself or the way you present yourself in front of other people as well. Because Capricorn, that's midheaven energy. And it's all about being seen. Like the 10th house, that's all about the ambition, about being driven, about being out there in the open, in the public eye to be seen. And I feel like right now, this is really about the next 7 days. There's going to be a lot that come up that is about you perceiving yourself, you telling yourself about a certain truth. So let's see if we can get more information from the tea leaf cards. Let's see what we've got here. We've got dark man, dealings or relationship with a man with dark complexion or hair. We have funnel, periods of frustration, lessons to be learned. We have knot, unsuccessful plans, and we have boot. Increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. Interesting. Yeah, so I'm hearing in order for you to be of service to other people, you need to be of service for yourself first. That might be a weird way to put it, but what I'm hearing is that you might be really trying to push something forward, but instead of trying to drive that thing forward, you should really focus on yourself first, on nourishing yourself, on pampering yourself, on balancing yourself out first before you can really dive into whatever project this is that you're working on. And I'm definitely hearing that the next 7 days, it's gonna be a rough period of time for you, in a sense that things might not go exactly the way that you want them to go. But at the same time, it is an important, what's the term? It's an important rite of passage that you have to go through. It's kind of like a key lesson. It's like a key chapter of a book that you just have to read through. Otherwise, you wouldn't understand what the whole book is all about. So it's something that you can't skip over. That's what I'm hearing. So for example, this could be talking about a school project where you have to give a presentation in front of like 40 people and you're really afraid of speaking in public. And for you, this is something that requires you to take a lot of strength, a lot of courage, something that requires you to really put yourself out there, to put yourself in a very uncomfortable situation where other people could see you. It's a situation that really calls you to use your talent and your skills with the keyword I use here. It's like you really have to utilize whatever resources or talents that are at your disposal to the fullest extent. And this is a situation you can't avoid as well. It's like when I see this funnel, it says period of frustration, lessons to be learned. I definitely feel like this is, again, one of those lessons that you can't skip over. It's like one of those things that you just have to get through, that you have to push through, even though it's gonna give you a lot of frustration. And with the knot here, instead of like something being unsuccessful, what I intuitively see here is that it's something stubborn. There's like a stubborn energy that's like a tight knot that you just have to kind of work through before you can carry on with the rest of the plan. So going back to that public speaking example, This could be a project that's worth 30% of your entire semester's grade. So you have to do it. There's no way you're getting out of it. Like, you have to, it's mandatory. I'm hearing it's mandatory. This is something mandatory that you have to get through. But I'm also hearing that you're making it more difficult than it actually is, because you are what you think. And the thing is that whatever this is that you're trying to get through, it is all about your perception as well. It's all about what you think as well. So if you think that this is going to be a funnel kind of situation, it is going to be a funnel. But if you try to convince yourself that, no, it's going to be a walk in the park, I got this nailed down, then it's going to be easier for you as well. And with this service card, I feel called to point out that this number 14, it corresponds to the Temperance card. And the number 20 here corresponds to Judgment in tarot. So again, like, I know that when we're reading tarot, like, judgment, it's not taken literally, but I do feel called to say that you might really be a person who judges yourself super harshly, and you're being called to let go of those judgments, to be in a more balanced state, to be in a more tempered state within the next 7 days. And that's going to help you in all your endeavors. And then with this Boot card here, increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. I definitely do see that there is something out there that you are meant to achieve. And it could be a career thing. It could be a study thing. I'm definitely feeling like this is more kind of like work-oriented sort of vibe. And you are being called to increase your effort. Or you're not just being called to increase your effort. It's more like you're being called to increase your effort on the aspect of perception. You're being called to increase your effort of changing your perception about whatever this thing is, as well as about yourself. That's what I'm seeing with your oracles. And with the dark men here, like, this could be literally like just anybody who is going to be playing an important role within the next 7 days. So for example, if this is indeed a school situation, for some of you, this might be your professor, or for some of you, I'm hearing this might be a teammate or a colleague who might honestly be the cause of some of your frustration, and you're being called to really watch what you say in front of this person. Because when emotions are running high, it is possible that you might say something that later you would regret. And that's what I'm hearing here. So I want to take a look at your tarot cards and see what blessings are coming for you. So first off, we have the Eight of Cups, clarified by the Page of Pentacles. Let me see if they're both in frame. So what I'm seeing here is that you're walking away from a situation that gives you a certain level of frustration. And you're walking towards a new stage. I'm hearing up-leveling. So you're walking towards a major step up. I feel called to say career. So I do feel like for my group number 1, for most of you here, this might be about some form of a formal situation, like a work situation, a school situation, a business situation. And with the Page of Pentacles here, Pentacles are all about material success, material wealth. So I do think that for some of you, or I would say for most of you, this is probably about your work or some form of work that you engage in, because we do have service here coming out right on top of the Page of Pentacles. And this reminds me of being service of other people, like doing things that help other people. So I definitely feel like the blessings for you in the upcoming 7 days is that you're walking away from a difficult situation. You're overcoming a challenge. So as we were talking about the funnel, about the lessons to be learned, like I feel like the next 7 days is a really important period of time where you're required to really sit through and learn those lessons. And then you're gonna walk away to the next chapter, to the next story of this book, having learned the important lessons that you were supposed to learn. And this next chapter that is coming up for you, and this might actually come up during the Capricorn season with the Page of Pentacles, is an opportunity for you to prove yourself. So let's go back to the example of you giving a presentation in front of like 40, 50 people, in front of your entire class or in front of your entire company. Maybe you do the presentation, it's really difficult, but it turned out so well that you won yourself a new opportunity to present a different project in front of a different group of executives, for example, if this is in a corporate setting. Or if this is a school situation, then maybe you got yourself a really good grade and now your professor is giving you an opportunity to participate in a case competition with a different group of classmates. So I think the situation is gonna change. It's gonna be something different, but you're gonna get another opportunity to really prove yourself and to be seen by others. And that's what I'm seeing with this Page of Pentacles. It is gonna be something that you're gonna be actively working towards. So that's what I'm seeing. And I do feel like this week, this upcoming week is gonna be a week with plenty of challenges. And we did get 3 cards for challenges, so let's see what they are. So we have the Devil card in reverse. Yeah, exactly. So again, like the Devil card is all about negative self-talk, and Capricorn, that's the Devil card, the Devil energy as well with the Capricorn. So it's really, I think it's like on the flip side of being seen by others, you're also kind of putting yourself on display for people to criticize. And I feel like in this case, it's not even really about other people, it's about yourself. It's about your self-criticism. Again, like, I do think that for a lot of you who are listening to this group, you might be someone who's really prone to self-criticism. And with the Devil card in reverse coming out as a challenge here, I do think that this is Spirit saying that it's gonna be a challenge for you to change the way you think about yourself. It's gonna be a challenge for you to change the way that you see yourself so that you can move forward. You can move beyond the current challenge. And here we have the 3 of Swords in reverse coming out to clarify this Devil card energy, as well as the Knight of Wands. Let me just see if they're all in frame. Yeah. Okay. So with this 3 of Swords in reverse and the Knight of Wands, I'm hearing someone being a little bit worn down. And I think this might has to do with something that happened previously. So in the past, there might have been situations where you were judged unfairly by other people, and that kind of became sort of a negative conditioning for yourself. So you've become more prone to self-criticism because in certain situations, you've been criticized by other people unfairly. And I feel like for those of you who's been through a lot before, this week is going to be challenging because there's going to be a lot of flashbacks. Like old situations are going to be brought back into light when you are dealing with your current life. So there are going to be situations where you feel a little bit insecure. So for example, let's go back to the previous public speaking example. So let's say you had an opportunity to do a public presentation like in, I don't know, kindergarten. And somebody in the audience, maybe one of the other kids' parents, said something that's really not nice about your presentation, because sometimes people are dumb and they just say dumb stuff, and you just took it a little bit too much to heart as a child because you didn't know better, and you let that impact your self-esteem. And now when you are going through the same situation, but now you're already in college, you might be kind of frustrated by yourself, by your gut reaction of feeling afraid in front of an audience, even though you think that it's stupid, to be still kind of like hang up, like to still be held back by a past experience that happened like 20 years ago. But that's just what happens for us as human beings. Like sometimes we get held back by our past experience. We get held back by our past heartbreaks, our past disappointments. And even though we know clearly that the current situation is already different, it is still possible that a part of us is stuck in the past. Some of our energies might have been left behind and might have been left stuck in the past. And it is important that we give ourselves compassion, that we free ourselves from those judgments, whether those judgments are from other people or from yourself. Again, like, in order for you to be in that state of perfect harmony in your world, you have to let go of all of those unfair judgment, whether those are from other people or from yourself. And I feel like in this case, it might be more from yourself. And the challenge here is to let go of that old conditioning. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of challenges. I do feel like it's going to be, whatever this is, I feel like there's going to be something challenging coming up for you in this upcoming week, and I wish you all the best. Please do leave a comment if this is resonating, because I'm really curious to see what exactly this is about. And last but not least, I want to see what Spirit has to say in terms of guidance and or advice. So we have the Page of Swords in reverse, and we have the Death card coming out in reverse, clarifying the Page of Swords in reverse as well. So I'm definitely feeling like words are going to be important. So whatever you say in the upcoming 7 days are going to be important. And you might, I'm hearing you might stumble over your words. You might be stumbling over your words when you're communicating with someone. You might be a little bit unsure of yourself when you are communicating your desires and your needs with other people. And I do feel like for some of you, you're being called to hold back from communicating in a very cutting way. Because I feel like Page of Swords in reverse, that's an energy sometimes can be a little bit out of control when it comes to communication. It can be a little bit, I don't want to say too much, but you get what I mean. It's like when when emotions are running high, you might not necessarily know exactly what to say in a certain situation. Like, for example, you're working on this group project with your team, and it's like 2 a.m, everyone's been super tired, been pulling all-nighters all week, and you just feel like one of your teammates is not pulling their weight. And it is only fair that you let them know what you think, but also you're being called to communicate in a clear-headed and kind way. And with the Best card in reverse, I feel like you're also being called to let nature run its course. That's what I'm hearing. So sometimes, even though you really want to push something forward, you just have to give it time and let it grow. So I do think that, again, with the funnel, it's going to be a period of time which prompts a lot of growth. But at the same time, it's going to also be a period of time with a certain level of frustration because things are not going to blossom as quickly as you would have wanted them to. And that's what I'm seeing in terms of Spirit's advice and guidance for you, my dear group number 1. So I think that's all the messages that I have seen so far for you, my dear group number 1. Thank you so much for listening to this reading. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me. I'm really grateful for you being here. If you did resonate with this reading, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you'll never miss a reading that I upload in the future. And please do leave a comment down below if you are open to sharing exactly what's going on. I'd be really curious to see how the situation works out for you. And if there's any particular topics or readings that you would like to see more of, please also leave that down below in the comment section as well, because I'm trying to come up with a more consistent uploading schedule. Thank you again. I wish you all the best, and I hope to see you again in the next reading very soon. Bye-bye. Hey loves! If you have chosen the change card along with this bottle of Tiger's Eye, then this is going to be the shuffling process for you. Welcome. So for my dear group number 2, we're going to start off with some oracle cards to see the general energy present for you in the upcoming 7 days. So Spirit, please show me into my dear group number 2's energy. And let's get started with, oops, all right. We've got one coming out already. In terms of the general energy present in the next 7 days for my dear group number 2, what else do we have, please, Spirit? Spirit, what energy? Oops! Wow! I feel like something exciting is gonna be happening for you guys in this upcoming week, because the cards are flying all over the place. There we go. Something, maybe something is gonna happen out of the blue, because I do feel like when cards fly over across the floor, it's kind of like an exciting sort of energy happening for your group. Let's see. Can we get something a little bit more specific? Let's get something more specific here with the tea leaf. Oops. Yeah, see how the cards are just kind of like jumping out? I definitely feel like, yeah, when I'm shuffling, oof, okay. I took 4 for the last group, but I feel like this one wanted to pop out as well, so I'm gonna take 5 and hopefully they'll all fit. Yeah, kind of. All right. And now let's get into your tarots. So Spirit, for my dear group number 2, what blessings? Oh my gosh. Yeah, see how the cards are just like jumping out? Like there's definitely a sense of excitement, and you are drawn to the card that says change as well. So I guess that's very telling. Let's see. So Spirit, blessings first. What blessings do we have for my dear group number 2? What blessings? Okay, we've got this one already. Let's get one more to clarify. Can we please get one more to clarify? Yeah, there we go. And how about challenges? Any challenges for my dear group number 2? Any challenges in the upcoming, yeah, there we go. And last but not least, let's do Spirit's advice. Yeah. Okay. And one more. All right, there we go. So let's make sure the cards are all nicely laid out and in frame. Yes, they are. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for staying here, my dear group number 2, and for sharing your energy with me. As you can see here, all your cards are shuffled and laid out. Now let's get right into your reading. Hi, group number 2. If you have chosen the card that says change along with this bottle of Tiger's Eye crystal, then this is going to be the reading portion for you. Welcome. Now, let's take a quick look at the card that you guys were drawn to. This orange card, which is just popping from the right at the beginning. And it says here, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So if you stayed for the shuffling process, then you might have noticed that I was telling you guys how all of the decks, when I was shuffling, the cards were jumping out. There was definitely a lot of movement, a lot of excitement. And I don't know if you guys are going on a trip or something, but there is definitely a sense of being driven forward. So it could be like literal movement, like you might be moving somewhere, or it could be like just figuratively, there's forward movement in some of your endeavors. That's what I'm seeing. So let's see what this change is all about. with your oracles. So first off, we have number 47, Grand Cross Provoker. Okay, so with the Grand Cross, this is placement that inherently has a lot of built-in pressure that brings out a lot of the hidden energies that are not necessarily visible to the eyes. And there is a certain amount of internal conflicts with the Grand Cross as well. And it is a very challenging aspect per se. But I feel like for you, I feel called to read this card a little bit differently in this case, because I personally just feel really called to point out that there is this energy that's being provoked, that's being kind of, I want to say that's being led out. It might be something that's hidden before, but now it is coming out, and in a very structured way as well. So this is, I want to say for some of you guys, this might be spontaneous, but for others, this could be something that's structured. For example, if you're going on a trip, it's kind of you're releasing old energies and welcoming in new energies whenever you go on a trip and travel to somewhere new. But that's going to be something planned usually, right? Because you plan beforehand before you go on that trip. Now let's see what else is there. We have evolve into your complexity was number 3. And we have opportunity was number 16. So see, we have evolve here, and then here it says, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So I feel like this is spirit confirming that whatever this situation is, you are evolving in this situation, and you're being shown the gateway to growth that's intrinsic to you. And you might be under a certain level of pressure. I'm hearing you might be under a certain level of pressure to perform, but you don't have to worry, because having performance anxiety, that's just part of human experience. That's part of everybody's experience. And it's only normal. And it's only an opportunity for you to grow and to evolve. And there is going to be that opportunity for you to kind of release old energy and welcoming in the new in the upcoming 7 days. And more specifically, let's take a look at all of your tea leaf cards. We have goldfish, increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. So yeah, definitely there is the key word of growth. This is definitely a week where you'll get to experience a lot of introspection, and at the same time outwardly just growing as a person or as a professional as well. And we have dog, far away. A distant friend is thinking of you. We have bull, plenty of material things. We have flute, disappointment in a friend or lover. And we have rooster, an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. Interesting. Let's see if you can, I think you can see all of them. So, I'm trying to come up with a good example here, but I definitely do feel called to say that some of you guys might be going on a trip somewhere. And as always, when you go on a trip, there's always something that might go just a little bit wrong. Like, for example, you might forget your keys. You might just put your passport in the wrong purse, in the wrong pocket. You might forget to take that one sweatshirt that you really like. You might forget to pack something like sunscreen if you're, say, like going on a day trip to the beach, something like that. So I do feel like when it comes to this disappointment in a friend or lover, it's less about what they are doing intentionally. It's more of an unintentional thing. So let's say you're planning on going on a trip with a friend and they are supposed to bring, and you're planning on going to, say, like a concert, a small local concert, and your friend was supposed to bring tickets and they forgot the tickets. It's like you're disappointed, obviously, but you also know that it's not like they did it on purpose. So you can't really blame them as much. So that's what I'm seeing with this flute. And with the dog far away, a distant friend is thinking of you. I feel called to say that you might be reconnecting with somebody in the upcoming 7 days as well. Like with your tea leaf cards, like it's a little bit different from the previous group, because I feel like the previous group, there was more of a theme going on with all the tea leaf cards. But with your group, I feel like the energies are a little bit scattered. Like, just like with the Grand Cross, like to form a cross, you need different planets to come together present in your natal chart to form that aspect. And I feel like for you, this might come as a challenge as well. And that is the fact that the energies are just a little bit scattered, that you might have multiple things going on at the same time. So with the dog far away here, I feel like you might be reconnecting with somebody that you haven't been speaking to for a while in the upcoming week. And that's going to bring you a lot of comfort, a lot of nostalgia. This might be a person from the past as well. And other than that, with the goldfish and the bull, I feel like these two cards kind of, they complement each other. So if you've been waiting for news of a promotion or a raise, I feel like the upcoming 7 days are going to be are going to be a period of time that's very auspicious for you. And it is very possible that you might get what you've been manifesting in terms of, like, from a material perspective with these two cards coming out together. And then last but not least, we have this rooster. An arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. I personally wouldn't be too worried about this. I feel like this is one of those situations which you can probably brush off. Like, for example, like going back to what we're saying about you taking a trip. Let's say like you took a trip and you went somewhere completely new that you haven't experienced before at all. And you went into this new restaurant and ordered something, and then it just so happened that the service staff messed up your order, and you were really annoyed, but they weren't apologetic. I feel like this rooster is more like talking about kind of like smaller interactions or altercations like that instead of something major that you should be wary of. But again, it's like an external thing that adds on a little bit more to that external pressure that really forces you to get out of your comfort zone, to change and to grow. So that's what I'm seeing with all of your oracle cards here. Now let's take a look at your tarot and see what blessings are coming your way in this upcoming week. We have the Ace of Pentacles, which came out right underneath the card Opportunity as well. And we have the Chariot. Oh my gosh, wow. Okay. So definitely with the Chariot here, I do feel like there is going to be physical movement for a lot of you. If you're traveling, please don't forget to leave a comment down below to let me know that you are actually physically traveling with the Chariot card here. But I do feel called to say that at the same time, this is not necessarily, so it's not necessarily just about physical movement. It's also about closing of an old chapter and beginning of a new chapter with this Ace of Pentacles. It's like there is this pathway that leads you to more distant locations, to more distant goals. And for you, this upcoming week is all about you kind of grabbing that opportunity, embracing that opportunity to allow yourself to grow into something bigger, to allow yourself to grow into someone that's different from the old you. And this opportunity in particular, it can be, I feel like, okay, this is a little bit random, but I was just kind of like mentally checking what kind of opportunities this might be. And what I'm hearing is that this might be a romantic offer. So if you've been trying to manifest a romantic offer from somebody, the upcoming 7 days, you might just get what you want. But that's just for some of you who are actively seeking that kind of energy. And for others of you, I feel like this might be more of a work thing where you're gonna get a new opportunity when you're being promoted to a bigger role with more responsibilities, or an opportunity to receive a raise with plenty of material things. It could also be an opportunity for you to relocate if that's something that you've been wanting for yourself with the Chariot here. Because Chariot is all about forward moving momentum. And it could be as much about physical travel as much about, figuratively speaking, like travel or movement. So I definitely feel like for some of you, if you've been trying to manifest a physical relocation of some sort, or maybe even moving apartments, I feel like this upcoming week, you're going to be receiving an opportunity to do just that. And if you are indeed looking to relocate or to move for the longer term, that also kind of explains the Grand Cross energy with the pressure coming on, because like, as always, like moving physically, like, or whether that's like moving apartment or moving job positions, that can be very stressful. And I feel like this might also be the case if you're receiving an offer to work for a certain company, but the job post is in a different city or a different country. And that opportunity is really coming up for you. And it's going to require you to push yourself out of your comfort zone. So that's what I'm seeing here with the Ace of Pentacles and the Chariot. And then in terms of the more challenging aspect of your week, we have the Temperance card coming out in the reverse, clarified by the Strength card coming out in the reverse as well. So I feel like with the Temperance coming out in reverse, it's like you're out of balance. With the Grand Cross and Provoker, there is intrinsically a lot of pressure coming on. It's almost like a pressure cooker. And with this sort of energy present during your week, it might be a little bit difficult for you to maintain your balance. Like, for example, if you're going on a trip, it might be a little bit difficult for you to maintain your self-care routine. You might not have time to put on a face mask every single night. Or if this is about a job, when you're getting promoted to a bigger role, to more responsibilities, it might be more difficult for you to remain patient with the progress of your work. And hence, the reversed Temperance coming out, I feel like this really is going to be a challenge for you in terms of your inner strength with your character. And especially with the Strength card coming out in the reverse, clarifying the Temperance card as well. And both of them are major arcana, so I definitely want to say that this upcoming week is going to be very significant in terms of your personal growth. And with the challenging aspect being difficulty maintaining a sort of balance, I also feel like Spirit is really pointing out to you that in order for you to grow, you have to make sure that you yourself is in a healthy state of being, that you yourself have a very open mindset, so that you are ready to step out of your comfort zone, so that you're ready to embrace this opportunity to step forward. Because if you're making decisions out of a place that's imbalanced, if you're doing things kind of from a really rushed or insecure perspective, it is going to be very hard for you to really reap the benefits of that opportunity, if that makes sense. So with the Strengths card coming out in the reverse here, I also feel like your confidence in yourself is going to be challenged in this upcoming 7 days. You're going to be put in a new situation where you don't have a lot of experience, where you don't have a lot of things to go off of. And that's why you might be feeling a little bit out of balance in that sense as well. With the Strengths card coming out in reverse, I feel like you might not be trusting your gut as much as you need to. And this is Spirit saying that you definitely should kind of give your gut feelings a bit more weight. Listening to your gut feelings, listening to your intuitions, and trusting what you're feeling, what you're sensing a little bit more with the Strengths card. And this is, again, all about your confidence in yourself as well. And especially when things are changing, things might feel a little bit unsettled, especially if you're, say, physically moving somewhere. You might be feeling out of your depth when you're going to a place that's completely new, when you don't have an established social circle. And this is Spirit kind of pointing out to you that you might have to rely a lot more on your inner strength in the upcoming week because of the situations that you find yourselves in. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of the challenging aspect of the upcoming 7 days. And last but not least, let's see what Spirit has to say in terms of the advice. And now we have the Hanged Man. And we have the Empress. You guys got a lot of major arcana energies going on here. Look at all of them coming out just in conjunction with each other. I love that. Love that for you. So with the Hanged Man, like, this is definitely talking about you switching perspectives, changing how you see the world, changing how you see yourself, while at the same time being patient with yourself and with the situation. You see how this person is just kind of hanging out there with the sea water like raging all over the place? I feel like because water represents emotions as well, this is going to be a period of time for you, like where your emotions might be quite turbulent, and you're being called by Spirit to really give yourself time to calm things down, to really give yourselves time to think things over, not overanalyzing, but giving yourselves time to let things settle down before you make any sort of decisions. So especially if this is the case that involves a physical relocation, and specifically I'm hearing for some of you, you might be relocating internationally. And if that's indeed the case, and we do have the Chariot here, and then we have the Sea here, which makes me think of overseas traveling. So for those of you that are traveling overseas, I do feel like culture shock might be a thing where you're required to kind of see things from a completely new perspective so that you can blend in, or so that you can better immerse yourself into the local cultures and the local communities. And the Hanged Man here, I think, is definitely calling out to you, saying that, hey, I know it's difficult, I know it's different, and I know that this is a little bit uncomfortable, but you have to be hanging in there for a while before you can move on solid ground. So that's what I'm seeing with the Hanged Man. And then with the Empress, this is really grounded energy. This is someone who is extremely abundant and knows how to pamper themselves. So I think with the Empress energy here, Spirit is also saying that don't forget to take care of yourself. Don't forget your self-worth. Don't forget that you are embodying your divine feminine energy, that you are here to receive. Whatever you're manifesting, you have to be in an open receiving energy in order for the manifestation to come to fruition. And this is Spirit saying that in this upcoming 7 days, you need to stay grounded and stay open to different possibilities with the Empress energy. And I also feel like this is a confirmation for those of you who are trying to manifest something. With the Empress, it's like the Empress is immensely patient because she has her entire kingdom laying out right in front of her. She knows exactly what's going on, and she just waits for the best things to happen for her. Everything happens for her, not to her. And for you as well, my dear group number 2. So that's what I'm seeing with the Oracle and your tarots. And I think that's all the messages that I have had so far. Well, thank you so much for staying here, for watching this reading, for sharing your energy with me. If you did resonate with this reading, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you'll never miss a reading that I upload in the future. And please, If you do have any specific readings, any specific topics that you would like to see more of, please don't forget to leave those in the comment section as well. I'll definitely take those into consideration as I'm trying to come up with a more consistent uploading schedule. Thank you again, and I hope to see you again very, very soon in the next reading. Bye-bye! Hey loves! If you have chosen the Purpose card along with this bottle of amethyst, then this is going to be the shuffling process for you. Welcome. So, as I mentioned previously, let's start off with some oracle cards to see what energies are going to be present for you in the next 7 days, my dear group number 3. So Spirit, oops. We just had a mini deck explosion. Oh my gosh. All right. No worries. Let's start off. So Spirit, what energies are going to be present for my dear group number 3 in the upcoming 7 days, please, Spirit? All right. So we actually got 2 cards, and I feel called to take both of them. So I'm gonna put both of them here. And let's maybe just take one of, oh my gosh, wow. So we keep having mini deck explosions. So it seems like it's going to be an exciting period of time for you in the upcoming 7 days. Your guides are very excited to tell you something about the next 7 days. But let's just take one, please, Spirit. Can we just take one? All right, that was a strong yes. Let's put that over there. And we're gonna take some more, let's see, tea leaf cards to get the specifics. So Spirit, what exactly is up for my dear group number 3 in the next 7 days, please, Spirit? Oh. All right, we got this one here, and let's take some more. Wow, the cards just keep flying across the room. Let's see. Let's take a couple more. All right, there we go. So take 4 of these, and I do feel called to take the months card as well. So I'm just gonna, but it might not fit, so I'm just gonna put it right here for now. Let's now get into the tarot portion. So Spirit, what blessings are coming up for my dear group number 3? Please, Spirit. So we got 1. Let's clarify. Actually, we got 2. So plenty of blessings. How about challenges? Spirit, what challenges are going to be present? So Got here 1 and 2. How about your word of advice? So we got here 1 and 2. All right, so let's see if all of the cards are in frame. Yes, I think they are. All right. Well, thank you so much, my dear group number 3, for staying here and for sharing your energy with me. As you can see here, all your cards are shuffled and laid out. Now let's get right into your reading. Hi, my group number 3. Thank you so much for being here. If you have chosen the purpose card along with this bottle of amethyst, then this is going to be the reading portion for you. Welcome. Now, let's take a quick look at the card that you guys were drawn to start off with purpose. I know what I'm here to do. So this definitely seems like a quite, I would say a very strong grounded energy. I'm getting some earth elements, so you might be an earth sign, or an earth sign person might be significant for you in the next 7 days. This is kind of like merging 3D with the 5D kind of energy, channeling higher guidance and channeling the 5D energies and just overall kind of, I would not be surprised if you guys are tarot readers yourselves or empath or resonate with being a starseed or overall just like being spiritually awakened. I definitely feel like this is the group with the most spiritually, I don't want to say, well, aware. I think this is the group with the most spiritually aware listeners out of the groups that I have filmed so far. And with the purpose, I feel like this is definitely talking about your higher purpose. It's not just something that you are doing randomly in the 3D, but something that might even be part of your soul's plan. So it's definitely something very significant that's coming up for you in the next 7 days. Now let's take a look at the oracle cards and see what specifically is going to happen for you in the next 7 days. And first off, we have water element sensing. Yeah, so definitely a lot of emotions, but they're like rooted deeply in your psyche. They're rooted deeply in your gut feelings. Let's just say that. And you guys did get 2 of these cards, so, and we got Earth's element. What did I just tell you? Oh my gosh, this is so, wow. Okay, so you got the Earth and the water with number 38 and number 40. So, I feel called to say that these might be somebody's age. So 38 or 40 or between those ages, like that might be an important period of time, or this might be indicative of a person that's within those age ranges that might be significant for you in the next 7 days. And we have the keywords earth element stability and water element sensing. And again, this is that 3D versus 5D, that kind of 3D world versus the spiritual world kind of energy being combined and being manifested together. So it almost feels like you are channeling something from the 5D and you are making it manifest physically in the 3D world. And that is your purpose. And when I said that, the camera timer flashed to 44, and that's a master number and could be a confirmation for some of you guys as well. And now I want to take a look at this card, which says we have number 11, another master number, self-worth, love, value, and respect. And with this little pig here and all of these coins, again, this is very earthy, very concrete sort of energy where you have a lot of like 3D proof of what's happening in the 5D as well. So that's what I'm seeing. That's like you are manifesting your purpose into this world and you are creating 3D proof to really fortify what you've been sensing in the 5D. That's what I'm seeing. And now let's take a look at the bunch of tea leaves that you have. So let's see. First, you have hat. You be playing a different role, indeed. And then we have the dark man. Dealings or relationship with a man with dark complexion or hair. Another group got this card. I'm not sure if you were also drawn to a different group as well, but if you are, this might be a confirmation. I'm pretty sure group 2 got dark man as well. And then we have the apple. Temptation will test you. Interesting. We have career. And last but not least, we have January. I don't think... All right. So yeah, okay. So they kind of all fit. All right. So I think I would say in a sense, a little bit similar to group number 2. There are a couple of different things going on. There are a couple of different energies kind of transpiring in your reading here. And with the hat, you'll be playing a different role. I think that maybe previously you haven't been as aware of what's going on in your soul's plan as you will be in the next 7 days. And with this, you'll be playing a different role. I think it's really about yourself. It's all about what role you're playing in your own story. So previously, if you were being a little bit passive, if you were just watching things unfold, I think in the next 7 days, you are going to be taking a more active role in terms of doing things and establishing things, making things happen, and with a lot of self-compassion, with a lot of self-worth, with a lot of self-love, with self-value and self-respect. It's all about you, and it's not about the others. The next 7 days, it's all about you and how you interact with the spiritual world and with the physical world. So with this, you'll be playing a different role. I think what really matters here is that you are embarking on a different journey. You are taking on a new role. You're taking on the lead role in your own story. And with this apple, temptation will test you. I feel like this might be talking about your old way of thinking or your old way of living. So previously, if you have been, again, a little bit more passive about how things are going, a little bit more of that sit back sort of energy, I do feel like that's going to tempt you. It's almost like inertia. It's like there is this temptation for you to stay in the old way, but I also see that with the earth element and stability, like you are kind of switching up your pattern and gaining stability or gaining momentum into a new pattern. The shift is not sudden per se. With the water element and sensing here, I do feel like this shift has been a long time coming. So you must have felt that something is shifting around you, that something is shifting within you, not just around you. Again, this is all about yourself. And with the number 11 here as well, it's the number for great psychic. So you definitely have a lot of psychic abilities that are being activated, that have been activated throughout this whole journey. And now you are facing that temptation of staying in the old, but I also see that you are going to succeed in terms of switching things up, in terms of getting into a new rhythm, a new pattern. And this might be, well, how this relates to your career, I feel like I need some more specific details from tarot to actually pinpoint that. But I also feel like your career might be, again, like, let's just say that you are a tarot reader and that's your job. I think maybe previously you've just been doing it because you feel like it's lighthearted, it's fun, and you can get some money off of it. And it's not really something that you've done with a lot of deep thoughts. But for the upcoming 7 days, you're really going to connect with your spirit guides. You're really going to connect with the 5D world to the point where you feel like, oh, like this is my purpose. I'm being called to do tarot readings for other people because that's the way that I can help shift the world. That's the way that I can help shift other people's energies for the better. And that is what I see in terms of how this might be relevant to your career. So whatever your career might be, I think this is the time, the upcoming 7 days, it's going to be the period of time for you to really sense that calling and to act upon that calling. And well, if you're watching this as I upload this video, then January is just around the corner. And maybe something significant will happen in the months of January, or maybe something that you do in the next 7 days will blossom, will manifest fully in January. And that's also a possibility. And with the dark men here, again, like at the beginning, I said that somebody might be an earth sign, and I feel like it is possible that this dark man might be an earth sign and might be a significant person for you in your journey in the next 7 days at least. And that might be a confirmation for some of you. And now let's take a look at the tarot cards with blessings. So we have the Queen of Wands. Yeah. So Wands, this is a suit about spirituality as well. And we have 10 of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands, clarifying the Queen of Wands. So definitely, I feel like you are leveling yourself up. So from the Knight to a Queen, this is you from the very, just previously, you might be in a stage where you're just like really driven to achieve a goal, but at the same time, you're not necessarily clear on what the goal actually is. You're not necessarily clear on what the purpose actually is. And with the Knight of Wands, this is an energy that's like really driven, really fast-paced, but at the same time can be a little bit misguided occasionally if it's not channeled towards the right direction. And now, from the Knight, we have the Queen. So it's leveling yourself up to a point where you are in your divine feminine energy to receive more guidance and advice from spirit, from your spiritual team. And with the Queen of Wands, this is someone who's incredibly confident and incredibly just attractive in terms of when it comes to manifesting the things that she wants. She just sits there and she knows intrinsically that good things are happening for her. So with the Queen of Wands, and again, I think in one of the previous groups, we've got the Empress energy coming out in Spirit's guidance and advice for you. And I feel like this is kind of reminiscent of that energy. So the blessings for you specifically, my dear group number 3, is that you are going to be embodying this Queen of Wands energy where you're going to feel very confident about what's going to happen for you in the upcoming stages of your life. And this is, I feel called to say that it's going to be a relatively long-term energy. It's not just for the next 7 days, but even longer term than that. And within the next couple of months, you're really going to see that your sacral chakra being activated, your solar plexus being activated, your whole being just kind of being elevated to a new platform where you feel incredibly more confident and self-compassionate within yourself. And with the 10 of Pentacles, again, like that's what I was saying. It's going to be a long-term energy. This is going to be legacy energy. It's not kind of a one-off thing, but something that's going to be a lot more long-term, that runs a lot deeper. And at the same time, with the Purpose card, I know what I'm here to do. I think you're really finding that divine calling for you in terms of figuring out what you are here to do exactly on this earth, in the community that you're currently in. You have, and once you have that knowledge, you're going to be establishing things that are a lot more long-term. So with the 10 of Pentacles, this is also kind of family, legacy, long-term prosperity kind of vibes. And I feel like starting from the next 7 days, you are going to be embodying this type of energy in your career or in your life in general. And that's what I'm seeing in terms of the blessings here. And I also want to see if there's any challenges for you in the upcoming 7 days. And we have the Chariot clarified by the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So I want to say that with the Chariot, there is movement. And however, this movement might come as a challenge because, again, like with the Apple card, temptation will test you, that we were talking about earlier. It's like the old way of being will tempt you. The old way of being will create this sort of inertia that's been present in your life, and you are trying to break free from that inertia. You're trying to break free from your old way of being, your old way of living. And that's why, like, that movement, creating that initial momentum is going to be a challenge for you. And with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse as well, like you see how this being right here is sitting in a garden, reading a book, and really just chilling there and kind of enjoying the abundance around them. But now for you, it's like you are leveling up. You are no longer staying in your own little garden right here. You are stepping out and you're creating something that's going to be a lot more long-term, not just for yourself, but also for other people with this 10 of Pentacles. And in order for you to do that, you will have to break free from whatever current comfort you have in your life. And that's going to be a challenge for you in the next 7 days. So you are being called to take on new challenges, to embark on new journeys, instead of staying within the old parameters that you have set for yourself. So, for an example, there might be an opportunity for you to take on more responsibilities at work, but this opportunity is up for grab. So you really have to push yourself to raise your hand, to tell your manager, to tell, maybe this dark man might be that person that you tell, to tell them that, hey, I am ready for more responsibilities because I know this is my purpose. I know this is what I am here to do. And in order for you to do that, you need to have a lot of self-confidence. You need to know your self-worth. You need to have a lot of, again, like, look at this card right here. It's all about you. It's all about yourself, how you see yourself, and how you see yourself in front of others. So I definitely feel like in terms of the challenge here, this is about you kind of being ready, or you readying yourself for a new challenge, to step out of your comfort zone, to get the momentum going with this Chariot card, as well as the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. This is about you stepping out and stepping up, and nobody is going to push you to do that unless you yourself push yourself. So this is going to be the challenge for you, my dear group number 3. And I think that's what I'm seeing in terms of the challenges and blessings. And now, last but not least, let's take a look at Spirit's guidance and advice. And now we have the 10 of Wands in the upright and the 2 of Wands in the upright. So exactly, I think you're being called to close old chapters. You're being called to let go of a lot of the burdens that you have chosen to put on yourselves. And again, I do feel called to say that, like, when you see this 10 of Wands, this is about a person being on a journey by themselves and biting off more than they can chew. And I feel like this is Spirit's way of saying that whatever happened in the past, it should be left in the past. And for you to move forward, for you to really embody this Chariot energy, for you to get that momentum going, you have to let go of the past. You have to let go of what happened previously, so that you can have a clean slate, you can have more clean energy that you can embrace tomorrow with. And then with this 2 of Wands as well, like, see how this person is looking out into the horizon, and how this imagery is really kind of reminiscent of that sort of energy of you embarking on a new journey, being ready to get going and playing a different role. So I do feel like Spirit is saying that you need to have a solid plan as well. So once you have channeled through the once you have channeled through the energies from the 5D, once you have channeled through the guidance from the 5D, now it's time for you to make concrete plans to really manifest those things into the reality, into the physical reality. And with the 2 of Wands here, I feel like this is Spirit's way of saying that it is time for you to make those plans right now within the next 7 days. And you are going to have the opportunity to take a look, to take a glimpse into your future, and you will know exactly what's out there waiting for you. If you have been trying to make a difficult decision, I think this is Spirit's way of saying that in the next 7 days, you're going to be receiving more messages and information about that decision that you're about to make. So no rush, the momentum is coming, and all you have to do is to ride on that momentum and to really be self-confident that you are being led towards the right place, that you yourself is actively going towards the right direction, just like this Queen of Wands here with a lot of like very fiery, passionate energy. You know exactly what you are here to do with the Purpose card again. You know what you're here to do. And you are going to receive a lot more guidance in the upcoming days as well. And with this January card, I do feel like if you are waiting for something to happen, if you are waiting for something to manifest, then January might be the time when you are gonna finally hear back on some sort of big news in terms of what you've been waiting for. And at the same time, January is the first month of the year. I feel like this is also Spirit's way of saying that you are beginning a new chapter here. You are starting off anew very, very soon. And within the next 7 days, you're already gonna be seeing that shift coming towards you. So that's what I'm seeing for you, my dear group number 3. And that's all of the messages that I have received for you. Well, first off, thank you so much for listening to this reading, for being here, for sharing with me your energies. I really do appreciate it. If you did resonate with the reading, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you'll never miss a reading that I upload in the future. And please, if you do have any topics, any readings that in particular that you would like to see more of, please don't forget to leave those in the comment section as well. I'll definitely take those into consideration. I've already done a reading based on one of the recommendations left previously in the comment section as well, and that's the channeled soulmate letter reading, which was a lot of fun. So if there's anything else that you would love to see, please don't forget to leave those in the comment as well. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you again very soon in the next reading. Bye-bye! Hey loves, if you have chosen the acceptance card along with this bottle of citrine, then this is going to be the shuffling process for you. Welcome. Well, first off, let's see with some oracles what energies are going to be present for you in the upcoming 7 days. Let's take a look. So Spirit, for my dear group number 4, what energies are going to be present for them in the upcoming 7 days? What energies? All right. Got this one right here. And let's take another look with a different deck. So Spirit, what energies? Oh, all right. There we go. Let me take another one. So Spirit, what energies are going to be present for my dear group number 4 in the upcoming 7 days? What energies are going to be present for my dear group number 4 in the upcoming 7 days, please, Spirit? One more. What energies? All right. So there we go. And let's get into the specifics with some tea leaves. Spirit. Oh. There we got 1, 2, take a couple more, 3, and maybe one more. And 4. All right. Smooth. Now let's get into your tarot and see what blessings specifically are coming up for you, my dear group number 4. So we've got these two coming out together. How about challenges? Right, we got 2 coming out together as well. And last but not least, Spirit's word of advice. Any guidance and or advice for you, my dear group number 4? Spirit, what guidance and or advice? Oh wow, okay, another 2 coming out together. So we've got all the cards. Let's put them right here. Okay, so as you can see here, my group number 4, thank you so much for being here. Your cards are shuffled and all laid out, ready for you to go. Now, let's get right into your reading. Hey, group number 4, if you have chosen the acceptance card along with this bottle of citrine, then this is going to be the reading for you. Welcome. Well, first, let's take a look at the acceptance card. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. All right, that's always a hard lesson, learning that some things are just there for us to accept. Learning that there are things that we cannot change. So I would say that sometimes we have to face certain disappointments in order for us to grow and learn as human beings, and in order for us to accept that there are certain things that are just meant to be there for us to learn and absorb instead of changing. So I would say that in the next 7 days, you are going to be blessed with an opportunity to learn just that. You are going to essentially accept that there are certain things in life that you cannot change. But at the same time, acceptance is not the same as resignation. It's an active form of knowing that it is okay for us to not change certain things because they are just there. They are there for us to learn. They're there for us to accept. And in terms of the specific energies, let's take a look at the oracles and see how this energy is applicable to you. And first off, we have number 16, Cancer, I feel. So a Cancer person might be significant, or you might be a Cancer yourself. That might be a confirmation for you, my dear group number 4. But more importantly, I think Cancer energy is sometimes can be a little bit stubborn. With the hard shell, I feel like sometimes Cancer energy can be just a little bit as, I don't want to say, well, let's just say that in terms of adapting, sometimes the Cancerian energy is not the best at adapting or following the flow. And instead, there's always kind of a hard stop or a hard start. So I feel like in the next 7 days, you're being called to kind of embody the more fluid aspect of the Cancerian energy when it comes to feelings and sensing that there are things that are just there, not for us to change, but for us to accept. But more specifically, let's see what else is out there. So we've got number 18, attract through glow. We've got number 40 with victory. Yeah, so now it almost seems like you're trying to manifest something into your life. And you're being called to learn to accept that things are going to take time to happen. And with the victory here, obviously, this is a very promising energy, but at the same time, you're being called to attract through glow. So this is kind of the energy that instead of actively going out there and doing, you're almost being called to stay a little bit passive, again, to be embodying more of that in the flow sort of energy in order for you to achieve that victory. So that's very interesting. But let's see if there's any specific aspects that Spirit want to highlight at this moment. We have wind chimes, peace and harmony. That's beautiful. We have butterfly, a change for the better. Very beautiful energy indeed. We have lily, spiritual love. Okay, so definitely you're receiving a lot of love from Spirit right now. And we have ego, triumph over troubles, obstacles, and we have victory here. So I definitely think these two cards are talking about the same thing. They are definitely kind of talking about the same type of energy here, where you're going to have a big victory coming up for you in the next 7 days over a certain trouble. But at the same time, you're being called to stay just a little bit fluid with the energies here. So an example that I can think of right now is that you have been working really, really hard on a work project and you've been waiting for the final results to come in. However, since you have already submitted all the deliverables, there's nothing for you to do at the moment but to wait and see what the results are. So I feel like Spirit is saying that the hard work, the bulk of the work has already been done. And now you're just waiting to see what is going to come out of the situation. And that's why you were drawn by the acceptance card. You are here to learn to accept whatever it is that's going to be the result that comes out of all the hard work that you've done. And with the Cancerian energy here, this is the 4th house energy, and it is your home. It is a very like comfy, very warm, sort of homey type of energy. And with the Cancerian energy coming out along with the acceptance card, I almost feel like you're being called by Spirit to make yourself at home. So there is going to be a period of time where you'll have to wait and see how things progress. And you're being called by Spirit to make sure that you are comfortable so that you can be there for the long term. Because it is going to take a while for that victory to come towards you. And that's what I'm seeing. With the peace and harmony as well, that's definitely a homey energy. It's a very rooted, very grounded sort of energy that you see in the 4th house. And definitely in the next 7 days, if you're able to embody this type of energy, if you're able to embrace the acceptance type of energy, then that's how you can embrace a change for the better. The change that's coming up for you, it is coming, but at the same time, it's gonna require a lot of patience from your end. And I feel like that's a theme that's running throughout the readings that I have filmed so far. It's like, it seems to be a collective theme of spirit asking us to be a little bit more patient with exactly what we want to do, with exactly what we want to manifest, because sometimes it takes time for the things that we want to manifest in 3D, because that's just how the 3D reality works. And for you to embrace that victory, you are called to first accept that things are the way that they are. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of the oracle portion of your reading. And now I want to move on to the tarots to see what blessings are there for you in the next 7 days. And we have the Devil card in the reverse coming out with the Sun card in the upright. So, well, first off, you got 2 major arcana cards, and that's very significant indeed. So the next 7 days is going to be a very significant period of time when it comes to your personal growth and learning. Now, with the Devil card in the reverse coming out as a blessing, I think that you might have been tied up by negative self-talk, because, like, for example, let's go back to what we're saying about the work project. There's a work project that you're waiting to hear back on, and you have submitted all the deliverables already. And maybe you've just been doubting yourself. You've been doubting your own ability to win approval for the work project that you've worked on. You might have been telling yourself that the reason why you haven't heard back yet is because your work is not solid, it's not good enough. However, with the Devil card in reverse coming out here as a blessing, this is Spirit saying that you are ending that period of self-doubt. You are attracting through glow. You are trusting that you can attract through your glow. You are learning to trust and learning to accept, and those are exactly the opposite of the Devil energy, of being jealous, of being insecure, of being unsettled in wherever you are. So, and with the Sun card coming out in the upright, the Sun is all about clarity. So I do think that in the next 7 days, you are going to hear back regarding some piece of news that's going to illuminate your current situation. So for example, you might be hearing back from your team or from the management team that your work project has gotten approved. You might be hearing back from people saying that, oh, you did a brilliant job at this or that. And that's going to kill all the negative self-talk that you've been feeding yourself in the previous period of time. And you're really going to learn to accept the praise. You're really going to learn to accept the success, the victory, the triumph over the obstacles. And I feel like a lot of the times the obstacles are not necessarily external, they're also internal. Because when the Devil card is in reverse, sometimes it's not necessarily the environment that's tying us down. It is ourselves that's being overly harsh, that's being overly critical about ourselves. That's the energy that's been tying us down. And I feel like in the next 7 days, that's no longer going to be an issue for you, because you're going to be getting this clarity. And with clarity comes happiness. with this Sun card. Like with the clarity, you are going to be very carefree. You are going to feel incredibly good about yourselves, but not necessarily in an arrogant or like lofty way, but in a very grounded, humble way. But at the same time, you're just really happy that you were able to overcome the troubles, the obstacles that were there for you. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of the blessings. And now let's take a look at the challenges for you in the upcoming 7 days. And we have the 5 of Swords, clarified by the 7 of Swords. So again, with swords, that's a lot of thinking. That's a lot of intellectual energy. And I feel like for you, my dear group number 4, for those of you that are listening to this group, you guys are incredibly intelligent. And sometimes that can be a blessing, but that can also be a curse. Because when you're a very intelligent person, sometimes you can just get a little bit too in your head. And you can let overthinking, overanalyzing ruin a perfect day for you. So with the 5 of Swords here, this is kind of that win or lose, coming out, like wanting to come out on top sort of energy. And I feel like this is you kind of being in conflict with yourself, or it could be you being in conflict with others, like trying to convince another person that what you're deciding to do is the right decision, trying to convince someone that you can achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, like trying to convince someone or trying to convince yourself. But when we're using the word convince, we're already putting the other party on the opposite end of this table. We're already putting the other person kind of as the opponent, because we are trying to win them over to our side. And with the 7 of Swords here, this is kind of a sneaky energy of not being upfront, of not being transparent about something. So someone might be withholding communications here, and not necessarily out of the best intent either. So these are the challenges that I see for you in the upcoming 7 days. And I feel like Spirit is saying that the best way for you to approach these challenges is for you to get out of your head and get more into the weed, get more into the actual reality of things. So if there is indeed a discord amongst you and other people around you, you are being called to step out into the light. You're being called to really embody the sun energy instead of being sneaky and withholding communication. You're being called to open and to openly communicate about exactly what it is that you want, exactly what it is that you need, instead of embodying the 7 of Swords energy. And at the same time, if it's the other way around, if you feel like someone else is being sneaky around you, if you feel like another party is withholding communications deliberately, you are also being called to confront them directly instead of kind of overthinking, overanalyzing, and getting into that analysis paralysis by guessing exactly what's going on. So going back to our work example, if you haven't heard back about your work project for a while and you've been having all sorts of thoughts, all sorts of ideas about exactly why you haven't heard back, when in reality, it might just be possible that the review committee might just be too busy. They might be really swamped with other projects and they might just not have had the time to really get through to your project specifically. And in that case, instead of kind of being here guessing, playing that win or lose sort of game with yourself, you're being called to really go up there and ask the representative of that committee. You're being called to communicate with your colleagues and be like, hey, I've been waiting for the last 3 weeks for a result on this, but I haven't heard back yet. Is there anything that's missing? Is there anything that I can do? And to really kind of embody that sort of open and transparent type of energy. And the answers you get might just be like, oh, sorry, we've been really, really busy and we haven't got to your project just yet. So please wait around like maybe another couple of days and we're going to email you the result. And that might just be in reality what's happening instead of whatever it is that your brain has been trying to create for yourself. Maybe there's been a million different situations that you were analyzing, but in reality, it's not really what it is. And you're being called to accept the reality as it is as well. And I feel like this could also be, if it's a romantic situation, if this does concern another person, I feel like this is also spirit confirming that instead of playing that game, like playing that cat and mouse game with the other person, you're being called to have open communications with the other person. You're being called to just really lay your cards out instead of holding them really close to your chest. You're being called to tell them exactly how you feel and tell them exactly what they've been doing has been making you feel. With the Cancerian energy here, it's like, it's gonna be a challenge for you to open up, but this is also Spirit's way of saying that even though it's gonna be a challenge for you to open up, even though your instinctual reaction might be to withhold the communication, the challenge here for you to rise to is to open up, is to be clear with what you want and accept whatever response the other person might have for you. With this attracts through glow here, I definitely think that, and see how like we have glow here and we have the sun, it's like there is a lot of light. You're being called to embrace the light into the situation instead of being sneaky around the other party or the other person, whatever the situation might be. You're being called to really, really be open. And I feel like a broken record by saying that, but that's exactly what I'm sensing. That's exactly what I'm receiving from Spirit. And I really want to emphasize that because clarity is going to be the key word for you in the next 7 days. And clarity is going to bring you happiness. And that's what I'm hearing. And now, last but not least, I want to see what exactly Spirit has in terms of advice and guidance for you, even though we've been kind of talking about it for a while now. And we have the Ace of Wands in the upright, clarified by the Six of Swords in the upright. So again, all about communications, all about being open with the other person. You see how clear this water is in the Six of Swords, and you can see clearly like this little boat here being mirrored by the lake or just the water. I'm not sure if it's a lake, but you see how there is clarity and there's transparency here. And I feel like this is Spirit telling you that something needs to be illuminated. Something needs to come out into the light. And with the Ace of Wands as well, like you're being called to take that initiative to bring light into the situation. You're being called to take that initiative, to be the person, to be the bigger person, especially if this concerns a situation where there's been bad blood in the past, or there's been I guess, unsatisfactory communications in the past. you're being called to be that bigger person, to offer that olive branch. And with the Ace of Wands and the Six of Swords, I feel like this is Spirit saying that it is time for you in the next 7 days to embody a new energy, because there is going to be a change for the better. But in order for you to embrace that change, you have to accept the current situation as it is and bring light and bring illumination into the situation. That's how you can embody that transparency. And that's how you can bring happiness into your life. And with the spiritual love here as well, like once that's all about spirituality. And I do think that Spirit is going to give you a lot of guidance. Spirit is going to give you a lot of protection in the upcoming 7 days, but not just in the upcoming 7 days, but always. But what I mean is just that in the upcoming 7 days, your spiritual protection is going to be very, very strong, so that you can be safe and sound when you choose to open up. It is safe for you to open up. That's what I'm hearing from Spirit. It is safe for you to clearly express yourself, to say exactly what you want to the other person, to the other party. And that's how you can resolve the situation instead of simply staying there and watching the other party leaving you behind. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm seeing. And I think another possibility is that Spirit is saying that even if things do not resolve after that initial communication, after you take that initiative, you're also being called to accept things as they are. Because sometimes things are not meant to be changed. They are just meant to be whatever they are. And by offering that opportunity to the other person, you're basically saying that you are open, but if they choose to shut you down, if they choose to leave the situation as it is, then you'll have to leave the situation as it is as well, because it takes two to tangle. It takes two to play that game. And now you're no longer wanting to play games. Now you're just wanting things to be clear, but at the same time, it needs to be mutual as well. So if it's not mutual, you're being called by Spirit to just accept whatever it is and move on from the situation, and that's the best for you. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of your next 7 days, my dear group number 4. Thank you so much for staying here, for listening to this reading, and for sharing your energy with me. If this reading did resonate, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel so that you'll never miss a reading that I upload in the future. And please, if there is anything, any specific topics, any specific readings that you would love to see more of, please don't forget to leave those in the comment section as well. I will definitely take them into consideration as I'm trying to come up with a more consistent uploading schedule. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, and I will see you in the next reading very, very soon. Bye-bye.